Working on it, working on it, working on it, working on it. Hey! And we're live. Okay, okay. It's been a minute. Let me see if I can set this up the way I was doing it before. Just like this, and I put it, wasn't making it any smaller that way. And I put it down here. And then up here, I have right blur open. And by right blur, I mean novler because, yeah, I know how words work. I'm a writer. It's my entire job. My whole thing is knowing how words work. All right, let's see. There we go. That's that. Yes, I want to update to my latest version. And we're going to go home. And I know I'm streaming on my laptop again instead of using my phone, but I don't want to try and set my phone over there or over here. And I just don't want to fight with it. But hey, hi. How you doing? It's been a whole ass bit. Hey. Streaming on YouTube, writing and stuff. It's been a heckin' minute. Tiredbard. Jenna should be writing, even though she is. That's what I'm doing. That's what I will be doing. Although a lot of the times, like, I don't get a whole lot of writing done in these. I just word vomit a lot. That's what tends to happen. I word vomit. That's what goes on. But I've made some progress, so that's partially why I'm here. Even smaller, and we're gonna keep this down. Can I? Yep, there we go. And we're gonna make this a little bigger because I need to be able to see my face because it's important to me that I can see my face when I'm streaming because I need to know that I'm not making stupid faces, even though I do often. Yeah. So we're still on version 5, technically draft 11, if I'm counting correctly, even though I keep miscounting it as draft 9. That's okay. I've started posting things to Wattpad again, because I'm that bitch. Again. Okay. A lot of things have happened, writing-wise. I have a lot of chapters all nicely sectioned out, because I'm trying to be organized, and it's kind of working. Isaac, big catalytic dumbass that he is, has changed the course of the story again later on. Although, again, like in the way he tends to do, for some reason, I rewrote the. Did I ever post those? The ones where Alex gets attacked by Tom accidentally because, whoops. But I've also made Tom less of an asshole because I felt bad. I felt really bad about that. I felt like I pushed him to the side because I wasn't confident in how I was writing him. But I'm better now. He's better now. It's not a terrible mess anymore. It's still a terrible mess. Let's be real. This is my writing. It's always going to be a terrible mess. But we have things happening. Anyways, this time Carrie's actually around for it. And Alex passes out after after Isaac freaks out and tells Carrie to go get one of the thermoses that he's been storing, which Carrie knows is full of his blood. And so after Isaac gives that to Alex and Alex passes out and is asleep, Carrie basically just goes, "So that wasn't a healing potion. That was your blood. So what the fuck is happening right now?" And shit hits the fan, basically. Isaac panics a little bit, has to explain that she's a vampire, and understandably Carrie and Tom are not not cool with that. And yeah, Alex is sad because, after, I mean, to be fair, she was lying to them, but after being treated like a friend for months and months and months, and then to immediately have it go to, "Oh, yeah, we're terrified of you now and also don't like you." That's it's just, oh, well, it happens. But they fix it because, they fix it. She goes home, she, uh, heals up, goes home, talks to Moira, makes her feel better, um, and then comes back, and Carrie goes from suspicion mode to, full on medical student, "What's this thing?" mode. Kind of it honestly makes Alex feel a little bit like a bug in a jar being prodded at, but it what are you gonna do? Um, it's a lot, but it makes me happy. And the after chapters are coming together better, with Daniel and the whole hair and skin turning white thing, which I think happens with Eric. I'm gonna make that happen with Eric because it's a byproduct of Amalthea's blood speeding up the sort of process of how it shows age, which doesn't usually happen until like multiple millennia of time passing. But how Amalthea generally looks like she's been carved from marble. Um, Basically, Eric, who's been living in her pocket for three-quarters of a century or whatever, how long he's been around. I don't remember what I said because I wrote that a long time ago and I need to rewrite it, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Um, Anyways, living off of her blood for so long started to like turn his skin into this mottled weird mix of some of it looks like flesh and some of it looks like stone, and it's a little unsettling. Um Anyways, starts to happen to Daniel after Amalthea takes him again because he wants to keep Madeleine alive, and Amalthea's like, "Well, I'll make a deal with you. If you dilute my blood and feed it to all of these new possible army so that they're not strong enough to kill me, I'll let you also keep Madeleine alive." And he goes, "I basically have no choice in the matter because A, I'm not going to let Madeleine die, and B, you'll probably kill me if I say no, so." But that works to his advantage later because, you know, it's not really her army if she's not the one doing all the turning. So yeah, that's a thing. But it does start to turn parts of his hair white, and like the tips of his fingers and shit start to turn that same like marble white color, which is kind of drastic for Daniel because he's got like darker skin. Um and it's a little bit alarming, more than a little bit alarming. But also it means that uh she doesn't have as much power over him. So when he finally does decide to be like, "Yeah, no, Madeline and I are gonna fuck off, and you can have fun with what you think is your army, but it's really not. So see ya." And she basically tries to keep him there, and he goes, "Yeah, no, not gonna work." Uh, at the same time, back to Isaac being a catalytic asshole and not thinking about the consequences of his actions. Um, yeah, he and Jesse are maybe gonna go try to save Daniel because Isaac's an idiot and Jesse's an idiot, and they it's just it's so much. It's so much. It's just why are they like this? Especially Isaac. Because, like, I stuck both of them in this situation, and I'm still on the fence about Amalthea being the one that Isaac's grandmother went to as, like, make my small child immortal. Um, but I still really, really like that idea, even if I kind of think that it's too close. It's too many things are happening too close to each other. But at the same time, it would make sense for her to be near there, especially since I've already established that she was keeping tabs on Daniel for quite some time. So her being within the vicinity makes sense. However, Isaac basically goes to Jesse and says, "You don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead. Why don't we go and prove that he's not dead by bringing him home?" How they find him? Not entirely sure. Kind of working that out on the other end with a possible Daniel needing uh, help, kind of using the fact that, you know, all the kids that are in this army now are basically following his orders instead of Amalthea's. But the thing is, this is going to result in an interesting turn of events because originally I was really stuck between if Isaac was going to turn in the end or not because of Alex and because of his relationship with Alex and how that goes. And just because of his past with all of the vampires and stuff, and his dad and his uncle, and originally with Tom, but Tom's not so much an issue now because Tom is not an asshole anymore. But there's the whole debt thing between Amalthea and his grandmother if I decide to go that route. And I have this image in my head. Oh, and it's such a good mental image because I'm just thinking, like, internal lore wise, like, what would happen if you tried to drown a human being in vampire blood? Like they would swallow it, and hypothetically, before passing out, they would swallow enough of it that instead of killing them via drowning, they would just end up turning. And oh god, A, Jesse would feel horrible. B, oh god, just the idea of doing it that way instead of having, because I don't have a motivation for Alex to leave anymore. Like, she doesn't have a motivation to leave at this point, which is fine. She doesn't need to leave. All of that kind of happened very out of the blue. But goodness, having that be how Isaac ends up part of this family is, why am I so mean? Why am I like this? Why is this the thing that I spend my time thinking about? And then there's Jesse in this situation where Isaac is like, I obviously don't think he's dead. And Jesse's like, I don't know if I don't think he's dead or if I just don't want him to be dead with all of my heart. And that's making me think that he's not dead. When in reality, he's probably dead. Even though isn't actually dead. But Jesse has good reason to doubt his own feelings on that front. And also is feeling terrible because of the conversation that he had with Daniel prior about how he didn't want him to offer the possibility of just going back to being human to Alex because it would mean Daniel died, and Jesse absolutely does not want that in the slightest. Uh, but he was also really, really not kind about it. Like, dug up way too many things that had nothing to do with the situation. Um, they didn't talk for a while. They didn't talk like solidly until after Alex had killed her parents and come back. Um, and so I think I would need to have Isaac as the instigator because there's no way Daniel would go after Daniel. Jesus, I'm tired. I have worked 10.5 hours today, and I will work 10.5 tomorrow, and the day after that, and then only 4. And then I have to go have a terribly long conversation with my aunt that I don't want to have. But oh well. It'll happen and it'll be done, and then hopefully I will not spend the rest of my summer feeling like garbage after every time I see her. I also need to get a haircut because this is not working for me. Um Isaac would need to be the instigator because Jesse would not go after Daniel all on his own. Not at this point, not after. It feels too much like when Sarah went missing to him. It feels like he's stuck in that space again where he can't do anything except this time he actually watched Daniel go and he did nothing. Well, he tried, but between Eden and Gus and Carrie and Isaac, and I guess Tom, technically, with how I'm rewriting this, yeah, he didn't, he didn't, he didn't stop him. Not that he could have, like, that would have most definitely ended with him dead, like, entirely. I also started to actually finally write, Daniel coming back, and oh, I'm gonna have to completely redo that, actually. I'm really gonna have to redo that. See, that's the problem. The problem is that Isaac's decisions change the entire course of things that I don't expect them to change, so I suddenly end up having to rewrite 6 chapters instead of just adding a couple new ones. I have to add a couple new ones to compensate for this new decision that he's made, and also rewrite old ones because now they conflict with the new decision and the new timeline because I can't not write a choose your own adventure. Oh, and for no apparent reason, I've also started writing the royalty AU, the dancing one, as its own entire thing because reasons. Because I can't get enough of Jesse and how he interacts with the world. He's honestly become one of my favorite characters to write in this. Just that complete look of confusion. These moments when I wish I was a better artist or that I had hundreds of thousands of dollars to just constantly commission Kaylee to illustrate every single thing that I write. Because having a visual for Jesse's face going, "That is absolutely not what blood is supposed to taste like," and Daniel going like, "What do you mean?" Because he doesn't quite understand that, yes, it tastes different after you're a vampire, because I would get terribly bored if everything just tasted like blood for the rest of my life. So, you know what? People taste different. I've gone over this before about how Isaac tastes like tea and Carrie tastes like a garden, and Daniel generally hovers between like that. I don't know why this is always some form of familiar, but like that whole wine and chocolate thing. I don't know why, but that is him in my head with some other stuff that I need to actually flesh out eventually because his blood plays a pretty big role in a lot of things. Um, and Alex being like honey and salt and stuff like that. But Daniel did not realize that that translated to vampire blood in general and that humans would taste it because he doesn't remember any of what happened when Amalthea plucked him out of the woods and went, "Yeah, you're mine now." Um, So Jesse is completely confused, and Daniel is confused and kind of just enjoying this reaction of, what do you mean that's not what blood tastes like? What does it taste like if it doesn't taste like blood? Um, I changed a lot of that too, like, well, mainly because I've toned down the whole mess of NSFW shit that was involved originally with the pair of them, even though it's definitely still there. It's not, doesn't need to be a focus. Like, I don't have to do that, which is fine because I'm not particularly great at writing sex. So, what do I also have? I also started writing the 18 hours. The 18 hours post was good. I built onto that quite a bit. Um, to Alex first getting home and reuniting with Jesse and Moira, and both of them basically just being like, well, an official welcome to the family, basically. And it's just so nice because, like, this was not originally possible for this story. Like, originally, originally, Alex either killed Isaac or she didn't. If she didn't kill Isaac, we go into the whole bullshit of her being a half vampire for basically the rest of her life, and it's terrible, and I don't like thinking about it. Um, or she kills Isaac, and she stays with, at the time, Eric and Daniel, and I almost said David because it's honestly been that long. With Eric and Daniel and Jesse and Kyle, and kind of hates them a little bit because, wow, they were terrible to her, and I don't know why she stayed, especially because she came out of an abusive household. Like, 14-year-old me did not know what she was doing. Um, but now, like, after after her first kill, after she is cemented in this reality of being a vampire and moving on with that part of her life, having it just mean that she gets to have a family is so nice and so heartwarming. It makes me want to puke. And I don't know how I ended up writing something so sweet, but I did, I guess. I also have a decent portion of the Wannabe Hunters, which covers Alex's first re-confrontation with Isaac after killing her parents, and into training Carrie and Tom, which covers the eventual slide of Isaac from, I guess I don't hate you, to, I guess I'd like being friends with you still, and I really enjoy being friends with you still, and oh god, I maybe have feelings for you and I don't know what to do about that. And yeah. Also, my favorite kind of sexual tension is the kind when you're fighting somebody, because sparring and like energy build is amazing and I love it a lot. It's great. I keep seeing people pop in and out of here and it kind of makes me self-conscious, but you know what? You know what? We're gonna live with it because I can live with it. Why? Why are you not working? Fucking hate Tumblr sometimes, and by sometimes I mean all the time. I don't know why I'm still on this hell site. Hmm. Right. I forgot. So there's a scene where she and Isaac are sparring and something happens and it for that second it snaps her back to Eric and to all those kids dying in front of her. And PTSD, dude, don't it doesn't fuck around. Really doesn't. And I have been experiencing a bit of it lately. It's not a fun time. I don't know why I'd ever say it was a fun time. It's never a fun time. But oh, I don't know if I've talked about this, but a bunch of Amalthea's newer angels tried to kill her and damaged her body so badly that she's now using Emily's body, which is all kinds of fucked up and all kinds of not fun for Daniel, who very much does not enjoy seeing uh, his childhood sweetheart as this vessel for huge amounts of murder and suffering. Yeah. Especially right after she takes him and he asks if there's anything of Emily still left in there, and she gives him this vague ass answer that means basically, maybe, but there's nothing you can do about it. And him just deciding that that's close enough to no because he'd really feel a whole lot better if the answer was no. Um, ugh, ugh. Mm. Their relationship has evolved again. Again, it's gotten healthier. Like, Daniel and Jesse's relationship was very much not healthy for a very long time. But it's very, very good now, with a couple of exceptions, but hey, nobody's perfect. Oh, yeah. Isaac's scared of needles. Part of why he doesn't like going to the hospital. But, um, point of irritation to Carrie, who's just like, really? You're afraid of needles? You let vampires drink off of you on a whim. But I have to physically hold you down in order to get an IV into your. Are you kidding me? Really? Really? She's really very, very, very done with him. I need more of Sarah. I need more of Sarah coming to visit Jesse. Because I need more of Jamie and Louise interacting with all of them because Sarah visiting Jesse, Jamie and Louise have basically grown up around people who don't age. So they have grown up around Daniel and Moira and Jesse, with Daniel and Moira being like just extra aunts and uncles um who aren't related. They're like, yeah, they're basically just like extra relatives because it's just what they are. And Jesse doesn't like moving all about to try and figure out where Sarah is now. So it basically just goes, "Can you come visit?" And she appears with the two of them, and they spend all of their time climbing all over Moira. And it's so cute. It's so wholesome. It's one of the only things that is wholesome before this story really gets into gear. And I still don't know what to do about it. Mm. I've been trying to write chronologically again, which is never a good thing. It's never easy. I'm never good at it. I do kind of have more of the transition chapter. Remember forever ago when I said that I have trouble with the transition chapter between Jesse going, "You should live with us," and Alex actually moving into the house? Yeah, I've started to write that finally. I've got like 700 words into it. Um, into Moira being like, If you're still around in a week and you haven't stolen all of our shit, I'll consider getting to know you, but still making her tea because it's just what she does. Um, and Daniel coming back and finding his coat on the hook and being like, pretty sure I gave this to a child who was freezing to death. Pretty sure there's no reason why they should be back in my house. And then coming into the kitchen going, ah, yes, I forgot. I live with Jesse, which means he will adopt whoever at any point, regardless of anything. So that conversation happens much earlier now. And I don't know, it's nice to have sort of hello, hi, hi. Um it's nice to have all the introduction happen earlier and in a way that makes more sense because I'm still struggling along with that issue that this wasn't originally a thing that happened by choice, but now it is because I can write better now. I feel like this stream has been a whole lot of me talking in circles, but I'm so tired that it doesn't even matter. Oh, and I deleted the Eric chapter again because I wasn't happy with how it came out. So now I have like 240 words written and nowhere to go with it. Mm, it'll be fine. Oh, I deleted most of Jesse's first chapter again too. I'm trying. I spent most of today organizing a Pinterest board, honestly. Like that is a lot of what I did today. Um well, that and I think I've shown you guys this notebook before. It's this one with all of my lovely yeah, this this is a mess. Basically, that little terrible graph says how long Alex spent human, half, and full vampire in the first edition, which, oh dear lord, versus now, which is more like, okay, she spends a bit of an equal time as each of them. Well, a little bit more time as vampire because, like, it happens earlier in the book now. But also, me printing out a whole bunch of pictures and cutting and pasting them willy nilly to make character Bible pages and things like this, and basically just a whole bunch of info for my own benefit. I'm so glad I discovered Harmony Santana. Like, oh my god. If there was ever a perfect person for Moira, it would be her. Um, and I still need a character. I need a face claim. I need a face claim for Jesse. Still. Which is fine. It's just a little annoying. Because all I have is this. Which is from that era when he mistakenly got a mohawk. And then immediately regretted it. But yeah. So this book is essentially it's my book Bible for this story. It's what I use to keep track of everything, keep track of the things that have changed, how things have evolved. Um, yeah. I also printed out my BSI list for all of my alternate universes and offshoots, and just generally all the fan fiction that I write of my own stupid stuff. It's really just a whole bunch of dialogue prompts. It's basically everything that can be found in my blatant self-indulgence garbage tag. Printed out so that I can carry it along with me to places where I have a journal and I have that, but I don't have internet. So I can't go and look up the prompts that I am using. It's also really good and helpful for when I want to do writing with other people. I can just be like, I have a whole book of prompts right here. You want to go through them with me? Of course you do. Except most people don't. Because most people uh, don't like to do things like that, which is okay. But yeah, I have fully set up a whole organized little board, or 8 or 12 to go with this. I spent most of my time today organizing and just moving chapter pieces around because I've been in less of a mood to write straight out and more of a mood to move things around and edit and refine stuff that still needs to be refined, like Amalthea in general. Jesus, will I ever give her a real name? Probably not. Like, honestly, I'm so attached to that at this point that her name is just gonna stay that forever. And you know what? If I have to pay royalties to the guy who wrote The Last Unicorn, then so be. Is he still alive? Regardless, if I have to do it, I will do it because he deserves my money. Hmm. God, oh God, why are there's that's multiple people. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I really, 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 really want to finish the later chapters of Isaac discovering that he maybe has more feelings than he anticipated. Maybe he has feelings beyond, oh, I don't hate you, beyond, oh, we're friends now, beyond, this is a problem. Especially, can you not? Maybe? Thank you, outside world, for being whatever you are. Gosh, not only that, but now Isaac has to explain all the background of what happened with Alex to both Carrie and Tom, rather than him and Alex just going, oh, yeah, by the way, vampires. He now has to fully explain because I don't know if you can hear any of that. I think that's my neighbor. I really hope that's not his child that he's yelling at. I don't think it is. Everything's fine. Everything's totally fine. Um, yeah, no. So Isaac having to go through all of this properly is essentially like when he explained to them about his dad getting killed by Liana. Oh, which is just so much. Even though he's still kind of it's still kind of a lie of omission at points because he's avoiding, like, the night that he went over after all the Eric stuff happened, um, he's kind of avoiding mentioning that Moira and Jesse exist because he let slip that Daniel exists, which makes enough sense because Daniel is kind of the reason he's still alive in a couple of cases because Alex would definitely have killed him on at least one occasion by accident if Daniel had not intervened. Um, yeah. So they know Daniel is a thing because he said it, and then Tom was like, "Excuse me, who?" Because, like it or not, Tom is the tiniest bit of a jealous person, even though they've not been together in years. So Isaac is trying to tiptoe around things and not put any more of Alex's family in danger than need be from his friends who may or may not try to go after them, but he successfully talks them down from, the idea of all of them being evil and tries to run them in as short a time as possible through the revelation that he had over a period of like 4 months, which is A, not all vampires are evil, B, Alex definitely isn't evil, and C, none of us are going to get killed by her. Um, oof. Which means I need to find another way to tie in, see again, Alex and Isaac resulting in different decisions and having to change how I write every single chapter every time. Because it's not like I wanted to have a concrete idea of where I'm going at any point with this story. No, this isn't plot driven, this is character driven. What's a plot? Who needs a plot? There is no plot. The plot is gone. I also need to be really careful because I really, really don't want to end up with Amalthea coming off as like Queen of the Damned esque, and I'm towing a thin line. It's a very thin line with that. I'm sure it'll be fine though. It'll turn out okay. I'm gonna have to delete this whole chapter and it makes me kind of sad because it's not gonna happen anymore. Because I had already written the chapter where Daniel comes back and shows up and says hello to Isaac and Moira, who are both awake, and then goes, "Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm gonna go to sleep." Goes upstairs, crawls into bed with Jesse, who thinks that he's hallucinating or dreaming because he's been having nightmares ever since Daniel left because, hello, thought he was dead. Um, which only really gets he only really sees through it because Daniel makes a bit of a callback to one of their initial interactions of asking if it feels like a dream when the original line was, "Does this feel like a hallucination?" Back when Jesse is drunk out of his mind and just saw Daniel kill somebody and decided, "Yeah, I'm too drunk, hallucinating, need to go home, need to drink some water, take some aspirin, go to sleep." And Daniel goes, "No, kiddo, this is real life." Um, yeah, it's so, again, it's just all of this scene is really heavy. And I love it. I love it a lot. I love the little pieces of Daniel being like, "Okay, this is the amount of pain that I'm willing to put up with because I know I just showed up out of the blue and you've been thinking I was dead for quite some time. And even though this feels like it's pushing my ribs back into my lungs, which is going to take even longer to heal if I re-damage them, we're going to do this anyway." Um, and Jesse noticing over time the white hair and um, you have an idea for what? Are you a real person? Phys, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna try. Yes, I am. Um, yeah. So I don't have one of those, unfortunately. I lack. I lack that particular thing in this house. Mm, Twitter, why? Oh no, it's Twitch. Oh, it's because it's my kitchen stream has begun because once again, like the first time I started streaming, there's a rodent in my ceiling, and I don't know what it is. it may be dead by now. Like we've had radio silence for several days. Um, Hopefully it's dead. Oh God, and I should go to sleep. Um, very, very soon. Maybe now. Maybe just soon. But it's been very much a long day. And it's very much going to be a long week. That's okay. I will I will be okay. I don't know who you are, but thank you. All right. I did a significant amount. I moved a bunch of stuff around. I got things back to where they need to be. And unfortunately, I have to redo slash get rid of that chapter. I might, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Jesse and Isaac and them attempting to go after Daniel. We'll see if that really becomes a thing or I don't know. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world because I already have possible alternatives written because that's just the way it goes with me and writing, as per always. I'm gonna try and start doing these again, um, probably on Saturday or Sunday instead of Monday like I used to, because I now work a normal Monday through Friday week because I'm finally not open on weekends anymore at my work, which is nice. But I will attempt to do these more often again because I really miss doing this. I like it a lot. And it's always a much nicer way for me to get all my words out because it's easier to do stream of consciousness style and then just go back later and be like, what did I say here? Before rewriting. So, with that being said, I'm going to fix my screen. I'm going to put Noveler back to full screen like it belongs. I'm going to put my YouTube tab back up here. And I'm going to say goodnight. And I'm probably not going to go to bed just yet. I'm probably going to edit a couple more things and maybe post something else, even though it's a terrible time to do so because some people are awake, but usually I have the best luck if I post around 8 o'clock or 7 instead of, close to 11. But if this is when it happens, then that is when it happens. And maybe I'll try to get the third chapter fully together because for some reason I've started posting things chronologically on the internet again. So I hope you all have wonderful nights, and I will see you another time. Or you can pester me on Tumblr at any time. Bye bye.